Okay, look, I'm just gonna get the easy ones out of the way. There are so many map flaws with this room that it's just honestly laughable. The fact that it doesn't even require glitches and that you can just parkour your way on top of the map in several spots is insane. I don't want to spend hours looking for each individual way up, since there's just so many that I'm just gonna give it 25 points and call it a day. Another easy one is the fact that almost every wall in the map is made of paper, and you can just walk through them in VR. I'm gonna give that 15. This killer clown escaped poster makes zero sense. Does it mean he escaped from the carnival? The clown is in the fairgrounds, meaning he hasn't gone anywhere. And also, if he was locked up and dangerous, then why would you build an entire Ferris wheel in his name? It doesn't make sense. Why is he a killer clown? Around the room, there are posters for food for sale, of which you can find multiple items priced at 87 cents, which, knowing fair food as someone who lives in the city that has the second biggest rodeo event in the entire world, that food pricing is way too cheap. And don't give me any of that, oh, well, Rec Room takes place in 1987 crap, because when adjusted for inflation, it's still only like $2. As well as the food being too cheap, the prices aren't consistent, as anything that isn't priced at 87 cents is priced in a multiple of 25 cents. Why are there items priced in multiples of 25 while other items are as specific as 87 cents? And then there's also an ice cream cone that's for some reason 70 cents. Just say it's $1. I don't want 13 cents and change after ordering. As some of the signs in the map suggest, the fair is closed down or even abandoned. But in that case, why are all the lights on? Isn't that just a huge waste of energy? And why do the gates have a power source that isn't connected to the rest? Why is restoring power to the generators necessary if everything else in the map is already on? And why do the gates have a power source to begin with? Just put a regular lock on it and call it a day. You're getting 2 points for that one. For some reason, the four main entertainers that are advertised everywhere in the map have one small little tent for their shows. It's incredibly cramped and honestly insanely sad to see. There's no way they'd be able to perform anything in here. Also, why are there posters all around the map that want you to get your tickets now to go see them? Are you really telling me that you need tickets to enter this tent? There is no area to line up and no ticket booth in front of it, and there's 3 sides of the tent that you can just walk into it from. I am not gonna need any tickets to stroll up into this place and see these sad performances. Arguably, the best ability you can unlock as Bonky is the ability you unlock at level 2. What's the point in leveling up? The name Make It to Midnight makes no sense. Your goal as a survivor is to escape the map, not survive till midnight. And if you do survive till midnight, the only thing that happens is Bonky gets faster, hindering your chances of escaping. Meaning the goal is clearly not to make it to midnight, so why call it that? They clearly just wanted to make it sound as similar to Dead by Daylight as possible, and didn't think about whether it made sense or not. Public lobbies of this game are basically unplayable, as this game requires cooperation, and no matter how much I try, little Timmy isn't going to cooperate with me. And also, there is a large number of people that abuse glitches in public lobbies, making it no fun to play. Speaking of which, Rec Room hasn't fixed several of the ways to get on top of the map or fixed the paper-thin walls yet, but they did fix a single wall that people would use to escape the map from an area unreachable from the main game area, which doesn't affect gameplay at all. Thanks, Rec Room. If I did the math right, you can earn a total of 144,500 tickets from leveling up fully, meaning that even if you were to grind all of it, you couldn't get half of the items in the prize counter without paying tokens for them. There's no way that a cheese-dipped pretzel costs the same amount as a regular pretzel. Knowing carnival prices, that premium would be at least 2 times more expensive. A fence that clips into a haystack. Some posters just say, buy your tickets on them. Tickets for what? If you mean tickets to the carnival, then I have a little news flash for you. The people in the carnival already bought their tickets. A poster that reminds you where to poop. Thanks, I would have forgotten otherwise. The size of this carnival makes absolutely 0 sense. On one hand, it's small, and the main tent that has the main attraction of the 4 entertainers could maybe fit like 10 people. Yet, there are rides that can fit up to 24 people like the Ferris wheel. Is this supposed to be a big event or not? It feels like no number of people could make this place feel normal, as it would always be either too packed for anyone to do anything, or simply just too empty that it feels boring. Conveniently parked getaway cars. And don't tell me that these are the cars from the people that break in the Make It to Midnight trailer. There is no way that they would have entered from both the north and the south entrances, leaving one car on either side, and that they would have backed up to park facing away from the park to drive away easier. That's just too much of a stretch. As this is the Wreck County Fair, you would expect to see more fair-like activities like ring toss or balloon darts or something. But instead, most of the space is taken up by a bunch of the same types of buildings, tents, or trucks. How am I supposed to be able to show off and win my date an overpriced plushie now? A box at the blue tent is clipping through the wall. The lights hanging from umbrella to umbrella are powered by nothing and wired to nothing. Country Pit Stop with Paula is a reused billboard from Stuntrunner, and it low-key sounds like one of the most boring shows ever. Like, do you ever think that anything interesting ever happens at a countryside gas station in the middle of nowhere? Sure, some people might watch it, but just because people might watch it doesn't mean that it would be an objectively good show. I mean, heck, Big Bang Theory got 12 seasons, and I don't remember a single useful thing that happened in that show. As a survivor, your stamina drains so incredibly fast that there is only two rational explanations for it. Either we play as someone that has asthma and a heart condition, or we play as a full-time Reddit mod. Or who knows, maybe both. Every single one of the 3 cars on the map are the exact same. They're literally just the same cloned pink car. They didn't even bother to recolor it. Over half the map design is simply randomly placed fences, haystacks, or boxes. If this is all it takes to make a Rec Room original, then half of the games on the hot page could actually be considered RRO rooms. Buying every item in the shop would cost roughly 75,000 tokens, which is about $100 US. Come on, Rec Room, you aren't CSGO. These items are not that valuable. Using storage containers to act as the barriers of the map seems incredibly pointless and expensive. Just use a regular fence. Why would you haul massive metal containers on top of one another for it? That's so stupid. Half of the porta potties here are out of order. Why? They have skull graffiti on them. Did someone die in there? It is now my headcanon that the food sold at the carnival gave people such bad diarrhea that they all died. There is a ridiculously high number of these Oasis water vending machines, like damn near 25 of them. There's probably not a spot where you could stand in the open and not see a water-only vending machine. At least offer other kinds of drinks. The hay maze is not at all a maze. There is like no way you would be able to get lost in it, and it's actually arranged in the shape of the Rec Room logo. You know, in case you forget what game you're playing. This game is a strategy game. Although, you aren't allowed to strategize using abilities and whatnot until you hit certain levels, so your skill is entirely dependent on how much you grind for XP. I really don't like this playstyle, as it basically feels like we'll only let you have fun if you spend hours not having fun. But let's be honest, it could have been worse. They could have put the abilities behind a paywall. Still a point regardless. One of the arguably most ridiculous things that I've seen is people blocking others to gain an advantage. This allows them to be invisible to Bonky and make it next to impossible for him. How was this something that went overlooked when developing this game? Why does Bonky get a costume while the survivors get a goofy walking animation? Come on, man, the survivors deserve some love too. The fact that there is no timer-based system means someone could just hide and the game could theoretically last forever. Great game design, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, click right here to subscribe. Click here to see a video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, and click up here to see how I broke Make It to Midnight in 24 hours. Bye. You would laugh. Cat.